Platform exclusives are almost always seen on consoles. Very few games come out on PC without being available to console players. And in the rare cases this does occur, it's almost always because that specific kind of gameplay would simply not translate well on a console's gamepad. I'm mentioning this because it's the only time when a platform exclusive is a sensible decision in my eyes. With that out of the way, let's look at the remaining 99% of cases. Before I go in depth, I want to mention that I own quite a few consoles myself, although I agree that there is no better platform to play on than a PC. I still enjoy playing on a console from time to time. That includes handhelds, but does not include phones or tablets. Those are not gaming platforms and will not be considered here. Consoles are part of a huge market and have changed the gaming industry in many ways. They are available at much lower prices than a high-end PC would be, and have become very versatile thanks to the dedicated modding scene. At this point in time, most consoles can run custom firmware, allowing you to play tons of great homebrew, play region-locked content, and even enjoy backwards compatibility thanks to emulators. But the biggest advantage beside the price is the fact that consoles are simplified. Even people who are not tech-savvy in any way can get a console, buy a game, and simply play it. There are no system requirements to consider, no incompatibilities. It's simply plug and play. You don't have to adjust graphic settings whatsoever. Your frame rate will always be stable. Well, that is kind of an overstatement, but at least it will be adapted to one of the best possible settings in advance. The kind of players who is not tech savvy is also the main target, and has been ever since the first console wars have started, and was a constant competition. I remember the days in school when my friends who had an Xbox would try to tell me how much better it is than my PlayStation. Back then, consoles were marketed towards children, so this long-term marketing strategy has indoctrinated the users into competing between each other. And we still see it today. People will argue about which console is better, and inevitably, which console has more and better exclusives. That is the problem I want to address here. Platform exclusives are bad. They're like a drug. They harm us, but we seem to want more of them anyway. It all starts with the word exclusive. The word is designed to make us feel like we are special. We have access to something reserved for a smaller circle of people. We want to be part of that exclusive circle. But the truth of the matter is, the word does not apply here at all. The group of people is neither special nor small. It's essentially a marketing trick. The proper expression should be platform restricted. Red Dead Redemption 2 should be called a PlayStation 4 restricted game, not exclusive. Because at the end of the day, that is exactly what it is. It's a restriction. If you do not have the correct platform, you have to go out and buy one, or you cannot play this game. If you want to be able to play interesting games, you are going to need various different types of hardware, and that costs you money. Money you shouldn't have to spend in the first place. When I first bought my PlayStation 3, it was so I can play Demon's Souls. When I moved to my PlayStation 4, it was because I wanted to play Bloodborne. Ironically, I still haven't gotten around to playing it, but that's a different story. The point of this is that I don't need, nor really want a PlayStation 3 or a PlayStation 4. I just wanted to play those games I mentioned, but was forced into buying consoles for depth. Keep in mind that these games, just as any other game, could be played on any of the consoles as well as on a PC, if they had not been restricted to only one of them. So as a modern video game enthusiast, you are forced to acquire additional hardware constantly. The reason why I'm so upset with this is that as a community, we're not only getting screwed, but we're also being thought to like it and defend this practice. People are divided, and the console wars are still in full motion. We're the kind of creatures that are naturally drawn to tribalism. Just as we love to rally behind our favorite football team, we end up rallying behind the platform. Most people will usually just own a console or a PC. Just one of these platforms, and does not feel like they have to justify their choice by saying that it's the best, and that's being exploited. Sadly, console players are amongst the worst representatives of gaming culture. They take beating after beating and ask for more. I know that people will feel attacked by this statement, but if you are a person who is playing solely on a console, stop and think about the things you simply accept, such as paying to play multiplayer. All of my consoles are offline. I refuse to pay for multiplayer, but that's because I also have a PC, where multiplayer is free. I know that the big companies are fooling you by giving you random free games from time to time. That's not really an excuse. If you're still not able to play in online multiplayer unless you pay for it, with or without the free games, essentially it's the same with platform exclusives. I've spoken with quite a few people, and almost all of them think that platform exclusives add value to their purchase. Do they really though? Imagine a world without exclusive titles and compare it to the world we live in right now. If you have only one gaming platform today, there are some games you can play and some you cannot. It's the reality of things. In a world without exclusive titles, you can't play almost all the games on a single platform. So how do platform exclusives add value to the consoles? The answer is, they don't. They're hurting the consumers and forcing them to spend more money. And since I'm talking about platform exclusives, I want to address something that has been going on the PC scene for a while. Epic Games have established their own digital distribution store and have been making some exclusive deals with some companies, making sure that their games will only be available in the Epic store. This is not a real problem in terms of exclusivity, because the actual platform on which you can play is still the PC. So much is changing in that regard. What we do see still is a very strong negative reaction from the community towards the Epic Store. And while I just see it as another annoying application I have to run on my PC. I support the anger because this kind of anger is what can bring change. That's something we almost never see on consoles. The last time I saw something like that was when Microsoft declared that the new Xbox must constantly be online, and that games can all be treated. If the console players had reacted like that when multiplayer was first being charged, they would not be in a position where you would have to pay for something that should clearly be free today. Unfortunately, I don't expect things to get any better. As long as people keep buying consoles and praising exclusives, we will continue to see them and find ourselves forced to get more unnecessary hardware. As I have stated before, I am at least partially to blame because I have two purchased consoles, specifically so I can play some exclusive games. However, I believe that a solution exists even for those who want to continue playing good games. Buy them, because that's how we support the developers. But still openly criticize the idea of platform exclusives. Don't go around waving the banner of your favorite company and being proud about having yet another exclusive title, while the people with a different console can only look from the sidelines, because tomorrow it will be you in their place and not them in yours. You're not on the same team as Sony, Nintendo or Microsoft. They should be kissing your ass and not the other way around. The more you give in, the more they will take. If we don't stand together as a community, we will not be hurt. But in order for that to happen, people need to realize that platform exclusive titles are bad, and I hope that I have presented sufficiently convincing arguments to sway at least some of my viewers. At the end of the day, no matter what platform we play on, we all share a passion for video games, and I'm happy to be a part of that community. I've made many friends while playing games, some of which I have now known for many years. It's a great hobby, and I believe it deserves to be defended from unfair practices. Let me know how you feel about this issue in the comment section. I love to interact with my viewers and really value every opinion I hear. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch my videos, and I hope I see you in the next one. Have a great day.